and hello everyone out there in Facebook land. How are you all doing today? I am your host, Tommi Faye Fulton, and this is the Blue Couch and Company, where you are the Blue Couchers and you are my company on the Blue Couch, and I welcome you. And so what is today? Today is the Big Thumbs Up Thursday day, as we have every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I was trying to do something new and different technological wise, and tried to work on with Yard Stream so I could broadcast on multiple platforms, but for some reason I couldn't seem to get that to work. And so, you know, at our age, technology is moving too fast for us. So, you know, I had took all of the weekend and all this week to try and make sure that everything was going to work, you know. But as it turns out, I was having some technical difficulty. So I'm hoping that everything is working here on Facebook. I hope that you all can hear me clearly. But we're going to get it straight, you know, because I'm going to believe God that somebody who has the technical ability that wants to be a partner with me will team up with me and take over that job and let me just focus on talking and cooking, you know. But in any case, I do the best I can with what I have and with whom I have. Today is going to be a very spicy day, I should say the least. We're going to be using a lot of different spices today and some vegetables, and we're going to mix up something that is more in the lines of a Indian kind of taste, very spicy. But I'm going to add something in it to give it a little spice and a little sweetness at the same time. And a lot of times people like eating their food that way. So, as you might can see, I moved on the other side of my kitchen so I can have a little bit more counter space, because I got all of these little glass cups that has all these different spices in it, and I needed more counter room. So that's why, if you see the background looks a little bit different, it's because I had to move it over. Let's see, what I want to start with. I want to get some preliminaries out of the way. You can go to my website, lovebeyondpain.com, and there you'll find more out of a little bit about me and my book, Love Beyond Pain, Walk and Run While Wounded. And that is a book that I wrote and published in 2019 after coming through some very dark and trying days in my life. Thought those days were over, but nonetheless, another storm came last year, as I shared with you all. But that book, you can buy it on Amazon. And you can also order, if you would like, my kids' book, Cooking for Grandma and Grandpa. If you just contact me, I'll tell you how you can get one. What else I want to mention to you before we move on to the cooking portion of this? I want to explain to you a little bit about what the Blue Couch and Company is all about. I actually started the Blue Couch and Company a little ways back, but out of that I incorporated Thursday's show for the Big Thumbs Up Thursday. And that came last year at a time in my life where I needed more things to do to fill in space and time, because my other plans didn't go exactly as I planned. So this Big Thumbs Up Thursday was birthed out of that. And so here we are. And I'm loving doing the Big Thumbs Up Thursday, because this gives me an opportunity to share hope, healing, and encouragement. And not only that, while I'm talking, I get to share cooking a Thursday meal with you guys and showing you new and different things. I always tell people I am not a trained cook. I am an experienced cook, and there is a difference. I didn't go to school for cooking, so all of that information as far as the properties of these spices and what they do for you and the aroma and what flour they come from and all that other stuff, I don't know nothing about. All I know is I naturally know how to season my food, and other people seem to enjoy it. And I do very little measuring, but I will tell you how much measuring is in these spices today. So that is basically what I do and how I cook. I'm an experienced cook. I'm not a trained cook. I haven't been to school for cooking, and this is not a cooking show. Okay, this is hopefully an inspirational show that will inspire you through your troubling times. I go through troubling times as well. Go through tough times. Seem like almost every week is always something happening, you know. I always say life is like four corners, and I won't name who those four corners is, but anyway. We're going to get started in a moment. Today we're going to do a very spicy dish. It's actually called beef curry, and but it has a lot more to it than just curry in it, okay? And so going to have that tonight over some steamed white rice, and just try to enjoy the evening, okay? I do want to mention to you one of the things that I want to share with you before I get started. I want to just maybe share a little bit. I always try to sometimes print things out and just share it with you, things that have helped me. And I always like to, you know, bring things to you from the scripture. And so, but this particular printout, you know, I printed it out, and it's from Stephanie, Travis, and Tyler. And so Stephanie is a survivor of a near-fatal plane crash. She shares her story of a beautiful life centered on faith in Jesus Christ and love of her family. So she survived a plane crash. You're talking about encouraging yourself, and you're talking about having hope. I'm sure she had to have a lot of hope that she would survive that crash and to see her loved ones when so many other people didn't. She goes on to say, I have been lifted from the bonds and sorrows of hell by the glorious power of Christ. I know what it's like to feel hopeless, to feel worthless, to feel trapped, to feel like I cannot escape and move forward. She says, but Christ also knew how this felt. He knows our pain because he has felt our pain. And the Bible does tell us that he was acquainted with grief. He understands our suffering and our sorrows. And so we believe by faith that the things that we go through here on the earth, that he already experienced those things, so he understands how we feel when we go through life troubles. And so let's see here. And Travis says, how can we be strong and be of good courage? Okay. Being strong and courageous usually doesn't require any grand gestures. More often, it's made up of small decisions we make every day that show our trust in God. As we prayerfully seek his direction, study his word, and follow his example each day, we will have the courage to let go of fear and face our challenges with faith. As you turn to Christ in your faith and follow his counsel, be strong and of good courage. You will feel the assurance that he is always with you. All right, and last one by Tyler. He says, sometimes and often life is very difficult. I agree. Sometimes it seems that aspects of our lives are constantly getting worse. But we have been promised by our Heavenly Father and our Savior Jesus Christ that we are never alone. Our Savior Jesus Christ knows everything we've been through. He knows each and every one of us. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you before I got into this meal. And, I just want to say, as I was reflecting today and as I was thinking today, I was reading over some of the Facebook comments and posting and stuff, and I was reading about one mother whose daughter is in the hospital. She hasn't waken up yet, and people were sending their thoughts and prayers, to her for comfort. And it's not COVID. I believe that's some kind of asthma condition. But in any case, the mom could not be in the hospital, I guess, due to COVID with her daughter. And I thought about one of my children who almost died from COVID-19 when it first came out. And I thought about how on my birthday, I would have been burying my own child that had passed away or would have passed away from COVID. And that's how bad it was. The doctors had said there's nothing else that they can do for him. And they wanted to put him on a ventilator and send him upstairs to another room. And he was sharing with me how he cried out to the Lord. And he said to the Lord, I do not want to die, God. And God began to show him some things. And so, but it was, as a mother, it was a nightmare for me. And as I was thinking about this mother whose child is in the hospital, a lot of children are in the hospital because of COVID. I thought about, my child being in the hospital and not being able to be there with him, because I was determined in my mind when they took him that day that if I had to die, and if I had to contract COVID and die, I would be willing to die with him as long as I can be there to comfort him. It was a nightmare, to say the least. And I still feel the impact and the pain of almost losing a child to COVID-19. I still feel the weight of that particular night when they came and told me that I couldn't go in to see him, and they was taking him to another hospital that was going to be 50 miles from where I lived. And so for 2 weeks, it was touch and go for 2 weeks. And people were praying, I was praying. I got physically sick to the point that I was bedridden because I was so emotionally overcome with grief. And but I still had faith, even in the pain, my pain of feeling like I was going to lose my child. Not that he's a child, but when I say my child, you all know what I mean. But in any case, the Lord touched his body. This is when the new drug came out, and they gave him that drug, and the drug seemed to have started to work. We didn't know whether he should take the drug or not because it hadn't been tested. Didn't know nothing about the effects of it, nothing. But he came out of it. By the grace of God, he came out of it. And so when I see and I hear these stories about parents and their children, it affects me, and it makes me cry. So, but in any case, I'm here today to, hopefully encourage you. The Bible says, put on the whole armor of God, wherein that we could be protected from the wiles of the enemy. And so we know that the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And so, anytime, God has called you to a mission, and you have purpose in your life. Everybody should have purpose in their lives. You were put on this earth for a reason. Our purposes are different, but you were put here for a reason. And so whatever your purpose is, and whatever your passion is, you're going to have a battle trying to get there. You're going to have a battle trying to maintain and stay there. There's going to be oppositions from family, friends, and foes. But you have to be determined that you're going to maintain and that you're going to continue on. And that's what I do. That's why I wrote the book, Love Beyond Pain, Walk and Run While Wounded. Because even though you still feel those emotional soul wounds, you still have to love yourself, love others, and walk and run in this life while still feeling wounded. Life only ends when you decide not to begin again. And so every day I wake up, I make the decision that I'm going to begin again. No matter my losses, no matter who come, who stay, or whatever the case may be, I decide that I'm going to begin again. And with that being said, we're going to begin this meal today. So this is beef curry, but it has a lot of other spices in it. It just does not have curry in it. And so what I did today, because you know beef takes a long time to cook, I cooked about 2 pounds of beef, and it takes about maybe 2 hours to make this meal because your beef needs to cook long enough to be tenderized. So, you know, just to save time and not to cook the meat, you know, on the show, I went ahead and cooked it through a little bit ahead of time. And so we're going to start. If you see my pan a little bit messy here, is because I went ahead and I cooked the meat in my skillet pan. And so I still have the olive oil in there, and I still have the juices from the meat in there. And so I put the meat aside, and so we're going to, or I'm going to go ahead and give you some instructions on how to cook this meal. Well, first of all, what we're going to do, you're going to put in about 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil in your pan. If you're cooking with beef cubes, you want to brown them on each side. Make sure they're nice and brown, you know, not overcooked, because they still have to cook some more and all the juices and so forth. And but I am cooking with kind of a shredded kind of beef. It's already kind of diced up and cut up and whatnot. It's not cubed, and so I have that put aside for right now. So the first thing we're going to put in this pan that we have already have our oil in, and I'm going to move this back just a little bit, and hopefully you can see it there. Oh, we have such an array of spices here. So first I'm going to start off with I'll put my green onions in that and stir that around. And I'm going to have this a little bit later on with some white rice and a sweet potato. And next I'm going to put some garlic, some minced garlic in there. You can put however much garlic that you want. I always say, cook to taste. You know your taste better than anybody. So I'm going to throw this garlic in the pan on top with the onions. And we're just going to give that a nice stir around. Turn the temperature. You want to cook this on a medium heat. Okay. All right. And the next thing I want to put in here, I don't want my pan to burn out too much. So I'm going to scrape some of this, which will make a nice gravy with it. Some of the meat juices that's wanting to kind of cook ahead of time, which is okay. So we got that in. The next thing I'm going to put in here, I'm going to start putting my spices in here. So every spice that I have here is about 1 to 2 tablespoons. So this is curry, and I love the smell of curry. So that's curry. I'm going to shake that in there. All right. We're going to put some paprika in there. This is also 1 to 2 tablespoons. I'm going to put this down on warm while I'm putting all these spices in. Going to shake that around in there. This paprika. That's old Rika. Then we're going to put some chili. Add some chili to that. I think I want to alright. I'm going to stir this around just a little bit here. Get up some of these, you know, and that's a good way to make a nice gravy, is when some of your meat juices have kind of stuck to the pan. So when you put your liquids in, it'll have a nice, nice gravy to it. So we got pretty much all that up. Okay. All right. Next I'm going to put in, so we got our curry, paprika, and chili. Next I'm going to put in turmeric, ground turmeric. All right. Then I'm going to add some ground cumin, C-U-M-I-N, ground cumin. I'm going to add that in. Going to add some ground cinnamon in. Okay. And you know, this is a really nice, has a nice bouquet smell to it. This is garam Marcella. And this has a really nice kind of flower bouquet smell to it. I like the way that smells, so we're going to put a teaspoon of that in. And we're going to put a tablespoon of cayenne pepper. Okay. So we got all that in. I'm going to turn my heat back up a little bit. Stir these around. Turn that up a little bit. I'm going to add a little oil to this because I need to kind of cook some of my other vegetables a little bit. So I'm going to add some olive oil extract in the pan. Alrighty. Put that aside. Got all this cooking in the oil. So I hope that you all had a good week, and we'll have a good weekend. So I was saying before that the big thumbs up Thursday came up underneath the Blue Couch and Company. Okay, so you all my Blue Couchers. Excuse me, these spices are, they get into me. I'm going to add a little water. Very spicy. Very spicy. So as you can see, it's nice and brown. Very spicy. But you know what? was looking at the spices. So you want to make sure you got your oil in, but you want to make sure you have some water in the pan too, so that it can cook a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some of these vegetables because they need to cook. So I'm putting in a cup of red peppers. Woo! It's kick. It's got some kick to it. I'm putting in some green peppers. Hopefully you all can see that, because I like things to look pretty when I cook. Okay. And adding some carrots. Okay. Because all of this has to cook some more anyway. I'm not going to there's a few things I'm not going to add yet because they're not doesn't take long to cook, and I don't want them to overcook. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add some more water to this and just put the lid on it and let it cook a little bit more. Oh, I'm going to add two bay leaves to this. Just add a little bit more water so those vegetables in there can cook. All right, and I'm going to put my lid back on top of this. Just let it cook a little bit more. That really got my nose going. I wasn't expecting it to get down into my throat. But I was saying, there's 2 points I want to make. Sometimes I got to remind myself. The big thumbs up came up under the Blue Couching Company as one of the arm legs. I think of what I'm doing as an octopus. It has a lot of different legs to it, okay? And so this is one aspect of it, where this is my baby, this is what I began with, and this is what brings me joy in my kitchen, is cooking. So the other thing that I was trying to share with you guys was something that I'm going to be doing on Wednesdays. And maybe some of you have already seen. I'm going to take a little sip, okay? This is white wine. The recipe called for it, but I think I'll sip a little bit. So, on Wednesdays, some of you may have gotten an invite to my other Facebook page, which is Living Wells of Love Foundation. I started my own foundation, and I'm not going to get into the details. You can go to the Facebook page and you can see there, Living Wells of Love Foundation. And I have my web developer working on my website. It's going to be great. And so I want it to look professional. I want it to be right. And so can't mess around with the foundation. And so on Wednesdays, I'm going to be doing what I call people that give towards the foundation and support it. They are my love launchers. And they give because they love to give and they love helping people. All right. And the people that I'm helping are disabled women and children. Stir this up a little bit. Got to back away from all that steam. Oh, wow. And so that's what I'll be doing on Wednesdays. I'm going to have this beautiful gift basket. It's going to have a lot of goodies in it, and we're going to do start our first Wednesday off with a raffle for the foundation to help raise funds. So what I do is help support other well-vetted, well-credible NGOs and nonprofit organizations through my organization, okay, that helps vulnerable women and children and those that are disabled. And so I got to push that away a little bit. I was looking at all of the spices that went into this. And I was looking at all of the vegetables that went into this. And I thought to myself how beautiful and how colorful. And I thought about the spice of life. You know, the spice of life can be very colorful and very beautiful and sometimes very difficult and very tragic, and you know, things can get heated, and you know, but overall life is beautiful. That's what my brother said before he passed away. He said life is beautiful. And so turn that down a little bit. So looking at all of those different spices and all those different colors, I think some of you may have seen the post of all the different spices. And so that's how we are as people. We're all different. We all come from different cultural backgrounds and upbringings and so forth. But just like these spices, once we mix them all together, they work out for the benefit of the meal. And so once you mix us all in together in this world, we all should be working out for the benefit of this world, to make it a better world for everyone, not just some, but for everyone. Okay? As the song goes, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can. And so if God can make all of the colors that we know to exist, and all of these different plants and all of these different spices that has totally different tastes, totally different colors, and you can mix them and match them and do all kinds of things with them, then what is wrong with us as human beings that we can't get along with each other in this world? Okay. I'm going to take another little sip. This was supposed to go into the meal, but it's going in my mouth. All right. So I'm going to take this off for now. We're going to do a little recap. So we have 2 pounds of beef that was going to go in here. That's already pre-cooked. We have curry, paprika, chili, turmeric, cumin, ground cinnamon, and garam masala, and cayenne pepper is in here. The other thing that I'm going to go ahead and add to this dish is I'm going to put in some parsley. I'm going to shake some parsley in here. Oh, parsley, you know. Parsley seems to get along with everyone. So we all should be like parsley. That's a nice name, parsley. Would you name your child parsley? I don't know. But anyway, even though this has a lot of spice in it already, I'm just going to shake, shake, shake a little bit of black pepper. Not that it needs anything more. I seasoned my meat earlier with my Goya. And so I'm going to, oh, and we got the garlic in there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put my meat that I already prepared into this pan. Okay, as you can see, this has already been diced up and it's ready to go into the pan. Turn that up, dial up a little bit, because everything has to cook a little bit more. Okay. You don't want to overcook your beef. Okay. So we're going to mix this up really well. Get all that color mixed into the beef. I was listening to a lady who was making a she was making a tea that was good for your immune system. And one of the things that she used was turmeric. But she said you have to be careful when you use turmeric because it can stain, it can stain things. S-T-A-I-N, stain. All right. So my sinuses act like they want to just give me some trouble. But hopefully you all can see this. I don't want to bring it too close to the edge. And as I was saying earlier, I was trying to use StreamYard, and it was supposed to have worked for me by 4 o'clock, but I couldn't get it to work. So I don't know what's going on in StreamYard. I have to get some more training on how to use it. All right, so all that looks really, really, really good. And this is going to cook a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit more water in it because there's something else that needs to go into this as well. I'm going to add just some more water to this because we want them vegetables and meat to be cooked really nice. Okay, I'm just going to sit this over here. I'm going to take my lemon. This is, this is lime. This is lime. I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of lime in. Okay. And I'm going to put the top on this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 more things that have to go into this. Okay, but we're going to just let that simmer for about 5 minutes. Okay, so as I was saying, that the benefit of what I'm doing now is to try to uplift others. And in uplifting others, I uplift myself because I need encouragement too. And so when I begin to share with you all, some of my personal stories and other people's personal stories, my hope is that you will look at whatever you're going through today and know that you're not the only one that's going through difficult times. And remain hopeful. Let God heal you. And be encouraged. Be strong and be encouraged. I posted something also that said the courage to win. Now, the courage to win doesn't mean that you're trying to, how should I say, win an award or a reward, okay? The courage to win means, do you have the courage, the strength and the faith that whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life and whatever it is that you want to do for yourself and for your family, that you have the courage and the strength to go after it, to push yourself beyond what you think you might not can do. Sometimes we need an advocate. Sometimes there's areas of our lives that we may not can figure out. And so we need to have people in our corner that can help us to figure things out that we kind of get stumped on. And we need just a little bit of assistance to figure it out. And that's why it's good to have good, positive, productive people in your life. The negative ones come a dime a dozen. But it's difficult to get good, positive people to surround you, to give you good counsel. And so those spices are kicking. So, you know, just be encouraged today, and just know that whatever your situation is, whatever you're going through, whatever you feel like you can't survive, if I tell you some of my stories, you would wonder, why am I still here? I say that, you know, God has given me Holy Ghost resiliency. That's all I can tell you. When I get knocked down, I make a decision to get back up. When someone hurts me, I hurt. I feel the pain. I feel the effects of that hurt. But I don't let that pain define me. I don't let that pain rule over me and make decisions for me, whether I'm going to stay down or get back up. You know, I get back up because, like I said, that is truly my motto, is life only ends for you when you decide not to begin again. Whether it's that job, ministry, education, another marriage, having children, building relationships, whatever the case may be. It only ends if you decide not to begin it. God is not stopping us from beginning and growing again. On the contrary, we're like seeds, you know? We're like little pods with seeds in it. Fall to the ground, we get knocked down, our seeds go buried underneath the ground, goes through a time and a season of being in the dark and being alone and down there just trying to grow up through the grass again. And that's who we are as people, growing up again in life and through life, and not giving up, not losing hope, not losing faith. I can easily give up, very easily, but I choose not to. Simply because I believe that God has something in store for me, and I don't know what it is, but it's something. So what we're going to do next, I'm going to take the lid off of this. And I am going to turn the heat up a little bit so it can come to a boil. I'm going to add in some raw and unfiltered honey, because I got my sweet potato in the oven. I want it to have, you know, a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of spiciness. So I'm just going to sprinkle some of that in there. No measuring. I do things for taste, and I know how much I want in there. All right. And the next thing that I'm going to add to this is some diced tomatoes. Add that in there. I'm going to add in some fresh cilantro or coriander. All right. Coriander has a really nice smell to it too. I love the way coriander smells. So we're going to put some coriander in here. Beautiful. Just beautiful. I used to sing a song, "In His time, He makes all things beautiful." And so we're going to stir that around in there. So we got a lot of stuff going on in this dish. It's gonna be hot. But it smells good though. Just trying to get my face out the steam. I love the way this looks. Very beautiful. So the last thing that we're going to put in this, as they say, last but not least, I'm going to add some coconut milk, unsweetened coconut milk. Stir that around. This is really going to give it a nice thickness. And this particular coconut milk is Thai coconut milk, unsweetened coconut milk. Boy, if I had about 4 guests over here tonight, we'd all be hot. Go ahead and pour the rest of this in. All right, as they say, we're cooking with gas. I'm gonna stir this around. And this is gonna simmer probably about 10-15 minutes. So it'll cook long enough for me to get my rice prepared. All right. Got everything in here. And it looks very, very good. I hope it tastes as good as it looks. I do want to thank you for joining me today. This is the Blue Couch and Company, and today is Thursday, and every Thursday I do my Big Thumbs Up Thursday show, and this is my signature apron. I give myself 2 thumbs up, and I give you 2 thumbs up as well. These aprons comes in multiple colors, and I like changing up on different colors, but blue is my signature blue. And so if you care to have one, I'll make you a gorgeous bracelet to go with it. Just inbox me, and I'll be more than happy to serve you, okay? So we're gonna put the top back on this, and we're gonna put it on simmer for about 10-15 more minutes. All right? So I just wanna close out today and let you all know that I love you. I appreciate you for tuning into my show. I hope that everything is going well. I never know until I go back and listen to it to see if the volume's up or if it's not working at all. I don't know. But I will take more training on how to use the StreamYard, and hopefully next go around I can have that done a little bit better. But in any case, this is the Blue Couch and Company, where you are the blue couches on the couch, and you have been my company today. And I appreciate you and what we've cooked today while we talked about hope, healing, and encouragement was beef curry, Indian style. And so you take care until next time, and just know that you got somebody in your corner, you got someone praying for you, you got someone who appreciates you very much as well. And that's me, Tommi Faye Fulton. Have a great evening. Bye-bye for now.